Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna text last night and say how was the Sanford thing, but I know he didn't go. Just so, what did I just say how it was?
So said that about the footprints.
Yeah.
I think he knows something, and he's not saying it. He can't say it, because I remember back last year, or we were talking about the controlled burn, and he said when they do the controlled burn, you can always park alongside of the road and see if anything comes out of the forest.
Yeah.
I think he knows.
I do too. He tries to play stupid, but I think he knows a lot more than what he's coming out with. I know will tell you. I mean, he still tells me. I was asking him, I said, where you had your road crossing in April of about a year and a half, 2 years ago? That's almost where he had.
What did he say about it?
He said, well, the original story was, he told me, he said, I'd for like 2 weeks, and he's like, I'm coming into work, it's like 7:30 or something. He says, this thing is right out in front of me, about 100 yards in front of me, and he goes from one side of the road to the other and walks in the woods. I pulled over and go, what the fuck did I just see? I'm like, yeah. I was like, they're in there, man. He's like, he said, I believe it. I never believe that shit from when I used to laugh at people when they tell me this shit. He goes, I believe it now. I've seen one. I was like, wow. Now he lived. Tell you what's funny, look at this brake here, John. It looks like it was twisted, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not much into the brakes, especially on this side of the thing. But it looks twisted. That's just kind of weird. Yeah,
I mean, this one here too. I mean, it's like,
what would cause that to do that, though? That's what's.
I mean,
weird.
it doesn't have a lot of weight to that
No.
tree. So if there's like a wind that comes down, you would think that it would either have to be pulled over and broken, or something climbing it so heavy that it just snaps like that.
And who's to say it ain't some idiot out on the trail?
Yeah.
You have yours on white hot or black hot?
I got it on white hot still.
I went to black hot. It seems to pick out the stuff better. I've seen a lot of squirrels and birds with it, so stuff with that. Get down here where it's usually water down in this area. Maybe even trash or something. usually where all the water is. You just suck it right up.
Yeah, you need a good, like you said, a good windstorm or something to take all these leaves off.
Another trail, it looks like it goes back through here. No hot spot area, we get. Remember that one night we came up here?
Man,
that was hairy shit.
It was.
When we were going up and that tree went down,
Yeah.
I was like, and I had the weirdest feeling.
That was a creepy night.
That was. I'd still love to do that sometime. Man, I'm sorry I had to bail on you that one night.
No, that's
It was
cool.
So sore. I couldn't. I was like, dude.
I mean, what are the odds, you know, us coming out here?
And it goes down right above us
Yeah.
somewhere. And I'm like, holy shit. I mean, I just had the weird, when that went down, I was like, man, it's like something's telling me do not go up there. And I'm like, so that's when I brought up, I was like, hey, Johnny, how many bars you got? We should probably turn around. But
Yeah.
now I'm bringing the extra ones with me that I have and shit, so at least, and if I get that other one, all I need is batteries, you know? So I'm going to call them up later on today, because I don't know if I told you or not, there's two different types of, there's a protected battery and an unprotected. And the protected battery helps it from frying out circuitry and shit in case there's a short in the battery or something. And so I want to find out what they use. Then I also want to ask them, okay, I'm hearing that you guys have sound on these. Where the hell's the sound at? You know, where's the microphone at on these?
Right.
If you have one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at it, it's IP67. I'm like, dude, I'm having trouble believing there's a microphone on here. If it's IP67, you know, because if water got in there, I mean, could it be protected some way, shape, or form and just the microphone gets impacted? Sure, but I'm looking at the thing and I'm not seeing any microphone, you know?
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, that was a weird fucking... And then when we walked out, we had that real loud knock.
Yeah, yep.
Fuck, man, it's like something saying, okay, they're gone, you can come back out. That was just...
Yeah, that was a good night, man. I love being out here at nighttime.
I do too. That's the only time I really like coming out.
It's like a whole different vibe. I mean, totally whole different vibe out here at night.
Exactly. And I really think that there's more shit moving around at night because they figured nobody's out here.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You know? And if there's campers, I mean, just like Beaver, you know, he'd been cooking all day and people around him been cooking, and supposedly something came in his camp. I mean, I really feel something happened to him.
I think so too.
Because he was scared shitless. He was telling me, you know, when he's talking to me, his legs like bouncing, you know, as he's sitting and shit, and he's like, I don't even want to be back here. He's like, I've had enough of this shit, you know, and everything. And I'm like, wow, something happened. Then they were talking about going to, I think that was funny, they're talking about going to the summit. And I'm like, and I had been on the summit one time before that. And I'm like, from here to there, that's a pretty far hike, man. I'm like, I'm looking at a couple of these guys. I'm like, dude, I don't know if you guys can make it, you know. To be honest with you, I'm not too sure you guys are going to. And sure enough, Beaver, that one time, I was like, I thought, because I asked him before he left, I said, you've done the summit before, right? Oh, yeah, many times. And he's laying down up here somewhere, you know. And I was like, dude, I thought you said, well, I walked down, you know, across the bridge and I got on the trail. And I'm like, that's not the summit. I was like, you're still like 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from it, dude.
It's kind of like me and my wife, we walked probably about 200 yards of the Appalachian Trail when we were out in the western part of the state a couple years ago. So now we tell everybody that we walked the Appalachian.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind doing that one time, but I heard there's so much shit going on there. If I went there, I'd have to be packing.
Hell yeah.
Too many weirdos.
Yep.
I watched a couple of these. This one girl, she went to, I guess they have these little shelters or whatever, and for people to spend the night. And they went up in there, and they had a small group, and this one guy kind of like was creeping on her. He's like, yeah, I've seen some of your videos and stuff, you know. And then she walked, she left real early and took a different trail, and I guess they eventually came together, and the guy's sitting there waiting for her, going, I was waiting to see when you'd show up, and she's like, she was really getting freaked out.
Yeah, man, he definitely got to be.
And then another woman said, she was telling her, and she was, I'll be right with you. She ended up calling the cops, and he split. Yeah, I can't believe that thing is right there on that side. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
It makes sense though.
I mean, it was literally like from where he was standing right here, it was back right in between those two large trees back in there. I was like, dude, that is and he said he swipes it twice and it's there, and actually he said on the second one it looks like its leg moved forward a little bit, and he said on the third swipe, after about another third, it's gone, completely gone. I'm like, that's weird. Standing right here. Okay, you see that? There's like, count from that little path there, okay?
Yeah.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4 trees, okay?
Yeah.
On the left. It's right in there, on that fourth tree.
We're just standing there, huh?
Just standing there. I was like, dude, how the fuck can you not see that? Well, he said he was looking through the small part of the camera, and I'm like, did he use his phone or was he using like a GoPro? And I didn't think of asking him that at the time. But that's where he was. And I'll show you the picture.
So it was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it was.
See that yellow little shrub growing up?
Yeah.
Okay, it's right in there.
Oh,
right there.
Oh, maybe he couldn't see it then.
There it is. I mean, get it this way so we can. What the is that? Seriously. What is that? Because we even got that tree there.
Yeah.
From where it was. And I'm like, it looks like it's in between that tree going up and there.
Yeah, even if he got it, a year ago, if there was a dead tree there, the dead tree would be still there. And we
went back in there. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. That's weird. What's even weirder is though he said he'd never heard it. Now he did say, I don't know if you watched the interview. He said he was walking down here and he saw some apples over on this side here. I'll show you about where. And he started walking up to it and he heard this real loud whistle from over here. And he's like, I don't know, maybe I better back off. And when he got back to the trail, he heard something running, which could have been whatever that was, up this way. He said it was tearing shit up as it's running through there. He said, you know what, I have no guns, nobody knows I'm out here, there's nobody else out here, I'm getting out of here. That's what he told me. He said, I'm out of this place. But he wants to come back with us when we go for, like overnight and shit.
Well, those campers seen that one right up around the bend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one saw one down here back a couple of years ago, down at the end down here, saw it standing up.
Got to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, exactly.